Hi guys, so just giving you a sneak preview. You've probably heard us speaking about Business Central. So all of our users are currently using Microsoft Dynamics NAV and Garage Hive. If we want to keep all the perks of using the Dynamics platform, we've got to move to what's called Business Central. So it's essentially the same technology. There's a few extra bits, a few extra features, but its main difference is the way it looks. So this is still in development. We're still at least a couple of months away, well, probably a few months away, really, from having a version that you can actually have a play with and potentially switch over to. But we just wanted to give you a quick preview into how it's going to look. So this is the new homepage. Doesn't look all that different, except we've got a few extra tools that we can use. So we can actually have some of today's statistics up here. We're still toying with the idea of what to actually have up here. We have the tiles, which is very similar to nav. We've simplified it, so we've removed some of the tiles that you're not interested in, such as pending inspections or completed VHCs. And if you scroll down, we have the Power BI embed, and we have the service chart as well, so you can decide what you guys want to have here. So you see the main difference is the menu on the left-hand side has gone, and it's actually been replaced with a slightly different menu across the top. So we have the options now. So from the top of most pages, you have service, which will take you to all your probably the most common areas that you'll visit. We have a purchasing option now. So that will take you to your vendors, your purchase orders, invoices, return orders, etc. The catalogs option, where you'd previously have to click the drop down button to get to catalogs, it's now at the top. And then we have posted documents and archived documents. So available from the home screen. You no longer need to go looking for them. They're all available from here. From the homepage, we have the ability to make an estimate, a health check, job sheet, etc. The schedule still works in exactly the same way. I think it looks a bit neater. What you will notice now is this more options. So the icons no longer exist at the top of every page by default. What you would have to do is go into actions or go into navigate and less options. Or if you click on process, you can still pin the information to the top of the page, but the option's yours now. So the schedule still behaves in exactly the same way. None of the functionality is going to change, just the way it looks. Easy clocking. So if you want to clock on and off as a technician, that's still available as well. So let's just take a look at the inspections, for example. So we expect the inspections, yeah, still looks good. Again, we can unpin this from the top and go through more options. I think the biggest change for people is going to be the way you navigate in the ribbon. It's going to take some getting used to, but for myself, it feels more intuitive. But it's just obviously different to what you guys are already used to. We can obviously expand the page as well, so you can go to the full width. So let's take a look at some job sheets. So this is very different actually. You can now filter the job sheets from here. So instead of having to go through the tiles or click on the left hand side, once you're in job sheets, you can then filter from here. The search box has now been moved to the left hand side. But let's open a job sheet and take a look. So the job sheet looks quite similar. We still need to do some alignment work. So for example, this is on the left, it should be on the right, or it should be a lot wider. All the functionality is still the same. So the key differences on the job sheet, the line menu, instead of it being up in the ribbon, is now above the lines. So you actually have a separate menu for the lines itself. You now have a menu for the comments as well, so you can insert lines and delete comments from this menu up here. But this is going to be, I feel, the biggest challenge that we're going to have, and it's getting this menu correct up here. So now we've renamed it Process, Parts, Lookup, and Print. So all your print options will appear grouped together. Your lookups, such as VRM, Autodata, etc. Parts, confirmation worksheets, etc. For raising your purchase orders. And then your process, so your general stuff. This is very much a work in progress at this point. And then you still have your general actions and navigate, but instead of it opening up the full, you then have these submenus. We can then reduce the options. And what we can actually do is pin as well. So we can pin the options to the top if we want the menu to remain there. Fact box looks the same, it's slightly more compressed, but it's the same sort of information in the fact box. We now, instead of service return orders, we've renamed it to return job sheets. And what we're actually planning on doing is removing a lot of the redundant buttons that you don't use daily. So a lot of the job sheets, a lot of the menus on Nav have got a tremendous amount of functions built into Dynamics that most of our users aren't using. So we're hoping to take this transition over to Business Central. We're going to remove a lot of the options that aren't used just to really simplify the documents. Again, from the homepage as well, the reports is now categorized into end of day and additional, and we plan to obviously add to these reports. What you can do as well is actually widen the screen, which you couldn't do before. So even the homepage has a widescreen concept. So that's just a sneak preview of Business Central. I really like it. It's going to take some getting used to, but I think that we can take this change to really simplify the menus within Garage Hive and ultimately end up with a better product. Let me know what you guys think.